everybody. This is the application tape for High Noon Television Productions for the vegan baking show to go to Megan Miguez. This is my wife, Evelyn. Hi, Evelyn.
Hello.
And what do I call you?
Ella, she who must be obeyed.
Well, when we're not arguing, but that's the nice, polite version. Ha ha ha. All right, the first question, Ella. Introduce yourself, name, age, and where you're from, and how long you've lived here.
Well, my name is Evelyn. As I said, everyone calls me Ella. I'm 38, going on 39, which is way too close to 40. Come here from the Ukraine, Odessa, and with my parents when I was just under a year old, along with my sister. I speak Russian pretty fluently, although it's hard to find the right words to get across what it is I'm trying to say. Yeah, so that's me.
Okay, tell us about your background and in upbringing. How did that help you or hurt the person you've become today? Now it says personal baker, but you're not actually a baker. Tell them what you do, Evelyn.
I'm the vice president of a LGBT magazine here in New York City. Being the youngest of two kids in an immigrant family whose parents really didn't get a good grasp of the English language until many years later, we were one of the first families within our larger family to have come here from Russia back in 1976. And so I was always the one, even while I was in elementary school, kind of dragged to all the doctor's appointments and renting apartments and opening bank accounts and all that good stuff. So one of the things that have kind of steered me in the right direction my entire life is my sense of responsibility and resourcefulness and being able to achieve things that, people my age or people younger than me tended not to do.
Okay, now we've decided on a team name. It's Team Tucker. Explain what that means.
Well, I'll explain it as best I can, given that I'm not the Australian. Tucker is what the Aussies call food, or meals, or lunch.
Bloody good Tucker.
So we're Team Tucker, the two, one Australian, one Russian-American lesbian duo from Oz.
We wanted to call ourselves Two Dykes and a Dog, but we thought you might have trouble with censoring, because that's our nickname for each other. Two Dykes and a Dog. What's your relationship with your teammate? Are you spouse, family member, best friend? Describe your relationship and how you get along and how you met.
Oh boy. I left, after finishing college, I left for Australia on my own to backpack. So that gives you an idea of who I am. My parents, when they came here, one of the only things that they did and spent money on was traveling. Coming from a previously communist country, they kind of wanted to show my sister and I the world, something that they never got to do. And so the one thing that I treated myself to was a 6-month time in Australia, and that's where me and I met. I walked into one of Brisbane, Australia's not most safest parts of town, and given that I always hung out on the Lower East Side of Manhattan, it felt like home. Walked in and met her, and my accent, my very American accent, was exciting. And being, at that time, what I thought was a straight girl, and then falling for a transgender woman was a big, oh my God, what happened? So that's how we met.
How do you work together? How do we work together as a team?
The
Describe
best
your
way
roles.
is Mia explains in the kitchen what it is that she wants done, and I'm very good at following directions.
You're my kitchen bitch, right?
Correct.
Okay. What have been some of the team's struggles in life in pursuing our dreams? Well, let me see. Coming out and becoming the abomination from hell that was going to send the entire family down into the fiery pits. That was a good one. My personal one was, the one I liked was being put out in the street with nowhere to live. That was always on my top 10 hit parade.
This question is for me.
I'm sorry.
Go figure. Here's Mia's right. The biggest challenges were kind of coming home and having certain expectations about how my family was going to accept my life, I felt like I had earned their respect over the years, and coming home and finding that that wasn't a given was tough. As was, telling Mia that she would leave some of Australia's, more homophobic parts of the country to come to, the wonderful land of New York City where everyone was open and wonderful and welcoming. To find out that was less than the case was a real rude awakening.
Oh no, it was different. In Australia, they punch out a homo. Here, they shoot them. But hey, that's cool.
Hey, even better.
What have been some of the team's struggles in what are our best and worst qualities in the kitchen?
I would say Mia's best quality is that she can take what really is an empty refrigerator, which is what we currently have, and create all manner of masterpieces. We actually I became vegetarian and vegan by way of Mia, because Mia did all the cooking and I did all the eating. And so that transition was really flawless, and that's all in credit to the things that Mia is able to whip up.
Now, we don't have a cake business now, but
No.
why don't you tell them about Busted Buddha and Harvest?
When we first came to the States back in '99, I believe it was, from Australia,
98, but hey.
Mia landed on her feet and started working at some of Chelsea's best gourmet delis, none of which exist anymore.
And restaurants.
Selling everything from literally walking door to door with her pastries and offering them to the business owners. She ended up striking all kinds of great relationships.
Craft services on movies.
She ended up striking all kinds of great relationships and was offered space in those facilities to cook and sell not only her stuff but theirs. And so that was a great time.
Would we ever open another bakery after our wonderful experience of taking over the truck dock at a defunct sewing machine factory and building it all ourselves into a upstairs apartment and a downstairs bakery?
If you ask me, I would say no. However, my dream / our dream, half of it's mine. My hope is to one day buy a shitload of land out in the middle of nowhere in this country and open up a off-the-grid bed and breakfast. And so the other half of that would be a self-sustainable garden.